Hi, I'm James Bass.
And I'm Tom Rice.
And welcome back to Sport All Over.
In today's episode, we're going to be going over the top 5 football leagues and how their tables finished. We're going to be going over MMA, we're going to be going over the latest NBA restart and MLB, and much, much more.
So Tom, it's been a little while.
It has been a while, Bass, it has been.
But we're back.
We took a wee break over COVID, didn't we? And then haven't really restarted. If you're a loyal member of the YouTube channel, you know that we've been uploading football videos recently.
Hashtag.
And well, you'll have to watch the rest of the video to see how that's going out. I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. So today we have a lot to talk about.
We do. We've missed a lot. Obviously, we're not going to recap everything we've missed. We'd be here for 24 hours. But anyway.
So start off. Pretty much all the leagues are finished. All the titles have been decided, and all this. There's games coming up, like Champions League's coming back soon. Finally. FA Cup this weekend, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Thought we'd start off with just going over the tables of all the leagues.
See how they finish.
Yeah. So League One is the only league, the French league, is the only league that's actually finished during quarantine, because they were like...
Yeah, they cancelled it, didn't they?
Yeah, there's no reason to keep it going. It's pretty bad in France. There's no reason. But they still gave the title to PSG.
I mean, they kind of deserve it, don't
they? They had 68 points in 27 games.
12 points clear after 27 games. I mean, it's pretty definitive, really, but...
Yeah. With Marseille in second, Rennes in third, and Lille in fourth, claiming Champions League spots.
I mean, Marseille, I'm actually surprised in second. They used to be good, and then they had a real poor run where they get, mid-table at best. But they're back up into second. Who knows how they would have finished if the league did play out.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that, for example, Lyon finished 7th and Monaco finished 9th, and obviously there's still 10 games left in the season, and we saw what Man United did.
I mean, we pulled it right around, didn't we?
Yeah, but basically, PSG always wins the Ligue 1. That's pretty simple.
Arab money gets you titles, that's all that is.
But yeah, we'll go on to the Serie A, because that's a bit more... Me and Tom have actually kept track with all of it so far, and watching highlights and all of it.
It's a good league, this Italian league. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't cancel it, because Italy was the main outbreak of the entire world, really. Well, obviously.
Other than the US, but...
And China.
Obviously China.
But Italy was bad, but they recovered well, and they got their season finished. Well, one more game. But.
So there's 37 games in, and it's pretty funny is that the Champions League spots have already been decided. Champions already been decided. Europa League has already been decided.
Oh yeah, sure.
So it's all been decided pretty much.
It's just a battle between second, third, and fourth. I mean, you got Juve up by 4 points; they can't lose, and then Inter, Atalanta, and Lazio, all within 1 point of each other.
And then
close, very close.
Ronaldo scored more penalties than Inter and all these people, different teams. I saw this stat. Yeah, he scored 12 penalties in the Serie A this season alone.
I mean, you got to bury them. Not everyone can bury them.
Yeah.
So Cristiano, hats off to you.
But yeah, and then in fifth it's Roma with 67 points, and Milan in sixth with 63, and then a disappointing season from Napoli, who had 59 points.
Yeah, I mean, Napoli have a good side. They've got Insigne, they've got Mertens, Koulibaly. Seventh, if you think they'd at least be able to get in front of maybe Milan. I
mean, on paper they're better than Atalanta and Lazio.
Yeah, Atalanta have been genuinely insane. If you can see here, the goals for, they've scored 98 goals, by far more than anyone in the league. It's just their defense is a bit leaky, isn't it?
Maybe just gotta make some signings and do better than next Champions League.
I mean, yeah, they're
still in it, actually.
Yeah, they're still in the Champions League, I was just about to say, so be good to see them.
But yeah, pretty interesting. The people who got the teams that got relegated is Lecce, Brescia, and Spal, who just haven't really done anything. But actually, Lecce, I'm wrong about that, still has a chance of getting out, with Genoa in 17th, and with 36 points, and Lecce with 35. So I mean,
comes down to the last day. Who wants it more?
The Bundesliga, though, Tom, finished a little while ago.
It did, didn't
a week or two ago or something.
Yeah, they wrapped it up.
And Bayern Munich dominated, as usual. I think that's 8 or 9 titles now in a row with 82 points. They scored 100 goals this season.
It's just unfair, really,
had 32 allowed. Second were Dortmund with 69, and RB Leipzig in third with 66. And then Borussia Gladbach with
Gladbach in
65.
fourth, yeah.
65.
And then Leverkusen 5th, Wolfsburg down in 7th, and then disappointing from Schalke down in 12th place. Union Berlin, who I'm pretty sure have only just been recently promoted, finishing above them. Schalke in 12th and Union Berlin in 11th. But yeah, and then the relegated teams, Werder Bremen, who are usually a good side. They've got some good players getting relegated. Dusseldorf and Paderborn. So
Pretty disappointing from Werder Berlin or Bremen. Sorry.
Werder Bremen, that's it, not Berlin.
They pretty disappointing from them, but yeah, it's nothing really surprising. I just want to point out Lewandowski's been robbed of the Ballon d'Or this year.
Didn't even get in Team of the Year, let alone the Ballon d'Or. So I mean,
So dumb, but they just dominated as usual. No surprises here. But the one that I think shocked me the most was Real Madrid won the La Liga this year.
pretty convincingly as well. I mean, the amount of stick they got after they lost Ronaldo, they went on a real bad run of form, didn't they?
Yeah, they weren't playing too well, you know.
Especially last season when they lost to Ajax in the Champions League.
Yeah.
People were right bashing them, but
But yeah, they beat out Barcelona by 5 points in
5
the
points
La
in the
Liga
league.
with 87 points. And then Barcelona had 82. It's just, I think the main thing is that Real Madrid only lost 3 games all season. And
Christ, yeah.
like, they just were really, they did it. And what was most impressive is they were pretty much carried by Benzema and Ramos.
How underrated is Benzema, by the way? I mean, people think he's a mediocre striker, but he's been balling out this season.
It's incredible with also Atletico Madrid and Sevilla tying on points with both with 70, but the goal difference, Atletico Madrid had 24 and Sevilla had 20. No surprises, Atletico Madrid is probably the 3rd best team in the La Liga. They should be.
What I'm surprised here, though, is with Valencia down in 9th. Valencia are usually a top 4, top 5 team.
You know,
but-
made the Champions League this last year.
Yeah, 9th place. That's
Didn't they even make it out of the group? Yeah, they did in the Chelsea Ajax group.
Oh, right.
That's really disappointing.
It is, yeah.
And then in 18th, Leganes with 36 points. 19th, Mallorca with 33. And then Espanyol with only 25 points.
Those two teams getting relegated down, yeah.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, obviously. Celta Vigo survived relegation for the 2nd year in a row.
Yeah.
Last year, or the year before this one, I'm pretty sure Iago Aspas scored a penalty in the 90th minute to keep them up. So they got to get some things sorted out there. But
They do.
the one that we really wanted to talk about the most is the Premier League, because obviously me and Tom pay attention to it the most. We're both Manchester United fans.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with how things have gone, but we'll focus on that in a second. We're not happy that Liverpool won the league, but they dominated and they deserve it. They crushed everyone pretty much.
Of course. Well, it's funny thing is, as soon as they won the league, they had that horrible run of form.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted what? They wanted the unbeatable season like Arsenal. They wanted the the Invincibles. Then they wanted the Centurions like City did last year, 100 points. They've missed out on both. They've got top of the table with 99 points.
Point out one thing, Man City did that 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Come on, Tom. Anyways, but yeah, they totally choked it.
Big time.
I mean, it's kind of funny. Joe Gomez and Van Dijk, after the quarantine, pretty much became David Luiz and Mustafi in the back. But yeah, they got 99 points. They dominated their front three Salah and Mane flipping killed it all year.
We don't include Firmino anymore.
Yeah, Firmino just doesn't score.
He sucks.
Man City came in 2nd. No surprises there.
Oh, did you? I know you've been into chess recently. You know that there's like a chess champion who's for ages. His name's like Carlson or something. He's insane at chess, and I think he lost in a chess tournament or something. And he goes, "Oh, to reference football, I've been having Lewandowski type chances and converting them at a Firmino like rate." What a lad!
Oh, that's funny. Man City, like we said, came 2nd with 81 points. They lost 9 games, which is kind of crazy.
Less than United, may I say?
Yeah, less than the United. There are talks that they need more in the defense because they didn't replace anyone after Vincent Kompany and Laporte got injured. They did sign Nathan Ake, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, that's pretty much confirmed.
Yeah, and
for
then
41.5 mil from Bournemouth.
Yeah, something like that. And then obviously 3rd place, Manchester United.
Yes, mate.
Absolute bangers right there.
I mean, it's a bit of embarrassment that Liverpool are on 99, City on 81. You'd think third, maybe mid-70s points. No, 66.
We'll take it. The good old sixes. We were, I think, 14 points behind Leicester going into the break or something. It was something like that. Or maybe when Bruno Fernandes was signed. And we have bounced back and taken Champions League. I think the main thing with us is we need to sign some more players for depth. Yeah. Just because, I mean, if we get Jadon Sancho, absolutely banging. But then
insane. I heard Dortmund rejected a 98 million bid. Well, at first, a couple of weeks ago, United said they weren't going to pay over 50 mil for him, which is ridiculous. He paid 80 mil for Maguire. And then I think they bid 98 mil for him. They had it rejected, and then I don't know. A couple of days ago, there's a story came out that an initial bid's been accepted. So
yeah, they're really close. I hear to sign him. And then there's also rumors that they might get like Donny Van de Beek and some other center back for like a total 60 million or something.
What? Both from Ajax, are they?
No. One's I can't remember his name. I saw it on Instagram.
Right.
Forget about it. They came third. Super happy about that. Champions League.
Yep.
We're back. We also have a good chance of winning the Europa League this year. We got a pretty easy draw ahead of us till the semi-finals or final.
Very easy. Yeah.
Fourth, Frank Lampard's first season for Chelsea. He gets fourth.
Yeah, it's not too bad for him. I mean,
started some beef with Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, most managers when they come in, especially Frank Lampard, he hasn't. Did he really have a coaching role before he took the Chelsea job? I don't.
He had the one at
Was he at
Derby County?
I'm thinking it was Derby. Yeah.
Derby County.
Yeah. So then he moved up to Chelsea, and he hasn't done too bad. He's only finished behind on goal difference, but quite convincingly by 15 goals.
I heard that in his first season for Derby County, he had the exact same goals forced and allowed.
Jesus.
As well, but yeah. And then fifth, Manchester United beat them in the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Leicester City, who finished fifth with 62 points. They were second for a while.
They were, weren't
and
they?
they choked it. They just haven't been good pretty much all since the restart. They've just been choking it, and it's just been really disappointing for them. Like, they've had losses to Norwich and just.
Well, I mean, that's before the restart. So yeah, just a lot of draws. Drawing with Watford, drawing with Brighton, losing to Chelsea, losing to Everton,
losing to Bournemouth.
They beat Palace, but yeah, then drawing to Arsenal, which they kind of actually expect them to win that game.
They lost to Bournemouth 4-1. Then that game against Tottenham was probably the most biggest letdown for them, just because they could have done it there with. They could have almost clinched through, especially since Man United tied West Ham.
I mean, it'll be good to see them in Europa League, but
should be interesting.
Yeah, sixth place we have Tottenham. Disappointing season for them. Obviously, they had a manager change. Pretty halfway year. Pochettino out, and then seventh place Wolves, who. Wolves were up almost top four-ish for a wee while, and then it's just these smaller clubs have been not great since the restart, and we'll get to one especially soon. So eighth is Arsenal, who are, I mean, it's just Arsenal is a bit of a meme, aren't they? 56 points, just not very good at all. And then Sheffield United, so they were in fifth, weren't they, when they came back, and they finished in ninth place. It's just,
I mean, they had 14 wins, 12 draws, and 12 losses.
I mean, they were only promoted last season, and everyone had them predicted dropping straight down, dead last in 20th. So ninth place is definitely not bad, but considering where they were, you'd hope they'd do a bit better.
We'll go all the way down the relegation now. Bournemouth, we'll start 20th. Very disappointing season from Norwich City.
Norwich balled out at the start as well. With
Teemu Pukki, man.
When Pukki scored all those goals, everyone was chucking him in his fantasy teams. And
and then he just kind of fell apart, and the rest of the team fell apart. 19th, Watford did their service of beating Liverpool in the beginning.
Yeah, Watford have a decent side. It's disappointing for them to see them go down. I mean, and also with the other team going down, Bournemouth. They had a meteoric rise back in the day around 2015. They went League One Championship and then Prem, but
and
back down they go, I guess.
And Aston Villa survived. And have you seen that clip of Roy Keane?
Oh, the Roy Keane clip. And also, how they survived was so controversial.
Oh, because
that goal was counted. The goal line technology just did not work on the day. So
and there's this clip of Roy Keane absolutely furious that Aston Villa were celebrating
like
getting
they won
out
the
of
league.
And
he's just there like, what, they're celebrating?
It's just interesting that this is just how it's gone so far. But the top goal scorers this season, it's been pretty interesting, actually. Jamie Vardy wins the Golden Boot once again with 23 goals. He also had 5 assists, pretty good for him this
Good
season.
on him. I mean, there's that many posts about him. 2005, working as a factory worker. 2010, playing in the 7th division. But, good on him. 23 goals. I mean, top goal scorer in the most competitive league in the world. Well, not this season, but it's usually the most competitive.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with 22 goals this season. He was probably the brightest light for Arsenal all year.
Oh, definitely. By far their best player.
Danny Ings had 22. He kind of made a return out of nowhere.
Where does Danny Ings come from, honestly? I mean, he's a Liverpool reject being shipped out to Southampton on loan, and he's banged in 22 goals for them.
And then Raheem Sterling with 20, kind of silently, if you think about it. Like, no one's really talking about Raheem.
He had all that hype in the start, saying he's finally worth it, all this money, and then... second half of the season he's been quiet, but obviously not. He's got 20 goals.
Mohamed Salah had 19 goals, and I want to point out 10 assists, which is pretty funny because people give him a bad time about how he doesn't pass the ball.
Yeah, but also with the assists, Sterling with 1 assist. That's surprising from
a winger position.
From playing left wing, I guess Aguero doesn't really hit the ball, but I mean 1 assist this season.
And Mane with 18 goals, 7 assists. Kane with 18 goals, 2 assists. Our boy Marcus Rashford, 17 goals and 7 assists as well. Anthony with 17 goals. But there's one more thing I want to point out. We won't name all these goal scorers.
No, we'll go through every single player in the league and see how many goals they scored.
I just want to point out something. Bruno Fernandes joined the team. And at the end of the Premier League season had 10 goals and 8 assists.
I know you guys will be rushing to the comments. They're all penalties. You have to score pens, don't you? They're not
pens. Okay, I want to point out
they're not a guaranteed goal. Okay,
pens are actually pretty hard to take. I know because I've scored a penalty because
something just caught my eye there. Mason Greenwood, 10 goals. Good on you, son.
Mason Greenwood, the future.
Future.
I think. Well, first off, Bruno Fernandes, cracking player, love him.
What a beast.
Second, I saw this thing. It was like I don't remember who said it. But some famous footballer was like, Neymar, Mbappe, and Mason Greenwood are the closest players to who have the highest chance of getting to the hype of Messi and Ronaldo.
He's put Mason in there. Okay.
Mason. But I don't remember who it is, but...
He's put Mason there.
Tom,
yeah.
I think it's finally time to leave football.
Okay.
But quickly, just thank you guys so much for letting us ramble all about it. But the NBA is back.
Sure is.
First 2 games for today as we are recording this.
They're doing it in Orlando, aren't they?
In Disney
So
World.
Every game is played in the same arena?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And look how many games there are tomorrow. I think there's multiple.
There must be.
Yeah, there's multiple.
I was going to say.
But, so today we had 2 pretty entertaining games that ended on, within 1 bucket of each other. First off, the Clippers and Pelicans Pelicans and the Jazz played. The Pelicans obviously have the likes of Zion Williamson playing and all these terrific...
Didn't Zion not play though because he broke...
No, he came back. They tested him. He only played 15 minutes though.
Right. I saw a crack up thing on Instagram. It was like the league was cancelled after Rudy Gobert touched all the mics, and then he was the first one to score points when it came back.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the first one to score.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, yeah. But, obviously, so the Pelicans lost by 2 points to the Jazz because Rudy Gobert, ironically, scored a game-winning layup with 18 seconds to go or something like that. So the main scores in that game were Brandon Ingram had 23 points, Drew Holiday had 20, and JJ Redick had 21. And the funny thing is the Jazz didn't actually play too many players versus the Pelicans. The Pelicans played a lot more, had a lot more depth, but Donovan Mitchell had 20 points, Mike Conley had 20, Jordan Clarkson had 23.
Never heard of that bloke in my life.
He used to play for the Lakers for a while, but
right.
Rudy Gobert did his job of getting double-double. But the game that we more care about was the Lakers versus the Clippers. first game back, first off, every team is kneeling right now to like show support for Black Lives Matter and all that, which is great in my opinion.
Yeah.
But Anthony Davis went off. He had 34 points. Ooh. He was just draining everything. Everybody, I saw these tweets by people going, "What the hell has happened? What has he been doing over the quarantine?" LeBron had 16, but like he also had 7 assists and 11 rebounds, so he's doing his job. And Kyle Kuzma had 16 points as well.
I'd expect a few more from Bronny.
And Kawhi Leonard had 28. You just called him Bronny.
Yeah, Bronny.
That's his son's name.
Oh, you know, just nickname him LeBron.
Oh, no, but that's... Oh, my God. Kawhi Leonard had 28 points, and Paul George had 30. But basically, at the end of the game, Tom, there's about 14 seconds left. LeBron does a little floater, misses, just hits, like, the front of the rim, bounces straight back to him, floaters it up again, and scores. And I saw this tweet from this guy named Cash Nasty says, "LeBron's the GOAT. He on purposely missed that first shot to waste more time." It was so funny, but the Lakers get the win 103-101, and if you watch the clip at the end of the game, LeBron James plays some of the best defense I've seen him play in my whole entire life. By him specifically, he locks down both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard on the possession. And also the MLB is back. But I have a feeling it's going to get canceled again real soon because one of the teams, the Miami Marlins, or Florida Marlins, whatever they are, they had like 13 players catch the coronavirus in the span of like a day because they all live in a clubhouse together.
Right.
And so that gets people worried about, well, what's going to happen for the MLB and all that.
Yeah, true that.
And there's also, we're not going to tell you the scores because, we just thought we'd bring that up. The only interesting thing
no one actually cares.
The only interesting thing that I have to say about is the Dodgers and the Astros played the other day.
I've heard of both.
And the Astros, I think I told you about this a little while ago, they're known for cheating.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
For this weird stuff that happened. And they played the Dodgers a few times in the World Series.
Yeah.
And it was widely believed that the 1 year that the Astros won the World Series was mainly because they were cheating.
Right.
And one of the players on the Dodgers tried to hit the batter.
What,
like he threw the ball 97 miles per hour or whatever at the batter. And it started this stuff that not a brawl, but the bench is clearing and like people talking to each other and all this.
Yeah.
And the pitcher who threw the ball, he got suspended for 8 games. And everyone got so mad on Twitter at the MLB saying, like, you're protecting cheaters and all this. And basically, we love you, Joe Kelly. You're a beast. Check out his Instagram post if you haven't already. He's holding babies, but the photos of the babies are the Astro players.
Oh, God.
Tom, I'll let you take over from here, buddy.
Time for some UFC, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we've missed a lot of UFC, but I'm not going to go back that far because there wasn't that much interesting stuff. But we'll start with, I'm sure you might have even heard of it, that's the Fight Island.
Yes.
Yeah, so they got this Yaz Island out in Abu Dhabi and built a octagon out there.
Right.
And so they had a few events there. The main one was UFC 251 where there was 3 title fights. The first 2 fights were just 2 women's fights, which, they're really just there because they're attractive. That's pretty much it. Apart from the Rose fight, she's a killer. She's a beast. So the first title fight was a bantamweight title fight, which was for the vacant title because Henry Cejudo, Triple C, he vacated the belt when he retired, obviously.
Right.
So Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo, which it was pretty controversial because Jose Aldo was coming off a loss, and this was only his second fight at bantamweight, but everyone thought he won. The judging just got it completely wrong. So it was Peter Yan v Jose Aldo. Everyone knew Peter was going to win pretty much. He's this little Russian dude, and he's a real good boxer, and he's a beast. So he stopped him in the 5th round. It was such a late stoppage. Peter Yan was just smashing on him for way too long than he needed to, and the ref finally came in. Then we had the Aussie, Alexander Volkanovski, who defended against Max Holloway, which was real controversial. I mean, most people say Holloway won, which he probably did. Max dropped him in the 1st round, and then dropped him in the second. And then it was a pretty even third round, but then fourth and fifth, Volkanovski won. So I guess you could say it either way. And then there was the snooze fest as the main event, Kamaru Usman versus the BMF, the baddest mofo.
Didn't he just stomp on his feet pretty much the whole fight?
Yeah, so Kamaru's a wrestler, so obviously he's going to wrestle and clinch, and Jorge's like this real exciting striker. So Jorge came out with a strike in the first round and won the first round, and then Kamaru just thought, nah, no you don't. So then he just nullified all his attacks and just pretty much stomped on his feet and just laid on him for the rest of the rounds.
One quick thing about Masvidal, doesn't he have like the record for fastest knockout in UFC history?
Oh yeah. This was like pretty much not a year ago today, but a year ago, a couple of weeks ago, he flying knee KO'd Ben Askren in 5 seconds, which was absolutely hilarious. It's in the next fight night. The first fight night on Fight Island was pretty uneventful, really. Calvin Kattar, which was an expected win over Dan Ige, beat him over decision. Then we had the flyweight main event, the rematch between Figueiredo and Benavidez. So this was a pretty good card, honestly. You also had Jack Hermansson and Kelvin Gastelum, 2 really high-rated middleweights. Hermansson got the win, which was real embarrassing for Kelvin because he just got submitted instantly. You can see there after 1 minute.
Jeez.
He just locked up his leg and just...
That one finished in 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah, so these two in the first fight, Figueiredo won by, I don't know, he just bang straight to the face, but he missed weight. So if you miss weight, you don't win the title.
Ooh.
So the flyweight title has been vacant for a long time, so they booked the rematch. Everyone wants Benavidez to win. And then Figueiredo is an absolute killer though. He dropped him, in the first round, dropped him literally like 4 times. And then finally, Joseph just couldn't do anything and Figueiredo just choked him out and got the win. So, and he made weight this time, so he is the champion.
So he's officially the champion.
Yeah, and I don't really see anyone beating him. Then finally, the latest event had some very good fights. I enjoyed watching these. So I'll start with the Fabricio Verdun versus Gustafsson. So Verdun is a vet. He was the first one to beat. Have you ever heard of Fedor Emelianenko?
I have. He's scary.
Yeah, he went on in a tear for 10 years unbeaten, and then Verdun came along and submitted him. Verdun's like 42 now. He's real old. And Gustafsson, who did retire maybe last year before, came out of retirement, moved up to heavyweight because he was a light heavyweight. And then just, I really wanted to see him win, but he got submitted in the first round, which was a bit disappointing. Then you had the fight of the dinosaurs, Mauricio Hua versus Antonio Nogueira, both over the age of 40.
Old men.
Genuinely old men fighting each other.
Dad's age.
Mauricio Hua got the decision win. Oh, hold on. It's a bit better. And then Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till. I wanted Darren to win so bad because, everyone's just riding Robert Whittaker's... I'm not going to say the word, but they're riding him. And so I'm like, I've always been a fan of Darren. He fought in the first ever UFC event that I watched.
Right.
But it was a close fight. Both had real good chances. Darren Till dropped him in the first round, but Whittaker made the right adjustments. He was coming off the loss to Adesanya, obviously, for his title, and got the win over 5 rounds. Some people had it for Till, some people for Whittaker. I probably would have had it for Whittaker, honestly. But yeah, that is all the UFC. But I'll quickly go over the upcoming event, which is pretty dead, honestly. It's Derek Brunson versus Edmund Shabazian, which Edmund has a lot of hype around him, coming out of Ronda Rousey's gym. He's real good mates with her. And pretty much they're just putting him up against a experienced veteran and seeing if he can beat him. So
when's Israel's next fight?
Israel is fighting at UFC. What one is it? It's 253, which, let me see if I can get the date up here. 253. The 19th of September.
That's
I'm pretty sure. It's in a wee while, yeah, a couple of months. But, there's the 3 in a row are the DC versus Daniel Cormier versus Stipe trilogy fight. So they've both won one apiece.
I thought all you did was announce now.
No, he still fights. He hasn't been announcing because he's been training for the fight. Then you have Adesanya Costa at 253, and then 254 you have the return of the lightweight king, the GOAT, Khabib.
He is the GOAT.
He's the GOAT of lightweights, definitely. Khabib Nurmagomedov fighting interim champion Justin Gaethje. I hope Gaethje can win because Khabib, he's a bit boring. He never fights. He hardly ever defends. Once a year, if you're lucky. if you're lucky.
Sweet.
So that's about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Anything else?
I don't think. I mean, we could quickly go. No, we've already discussed the Champions League before, haven't we? We've already discussed the fixtures.
I think we're good.
I think that's it.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Hope you enjoyed the return of Sport All Over.
Hopefully get more consistent episodes back. I think this was episode 5? 5 or 6, something like that.
If you're lucky, you'll see more. If you're lucky.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.